Hi everybody, it's Emily here at Thrive Wellness Center in Saline, and I just wanted to come and talk to you guys a little bit about immunity, how you can support your immune system and give it a nice little boost. Everyone kind of seems to be getting that, time of the year, that cold, the ick going around, whether it's COVID or not. Everyone just seems to kind of be feeling down in the dumps. So we're going to help you support your immune systems with some awesome natural remedies to help keep you healthy for the rest of these cold months to come. All right, first and foremost, we're going to start with diet. So your diet can either fuel bugs or it can defeat them. So when I talk about diet, the things that you need to be working on when you're trying to boost your immune system and get rid of any sort of junk that's going on, you want to eliminate sugar. So just no sugar, period. I would even say if you're feeling really crummy, stay away from fruit sugar for the time being. But white refined sugar does nothing but feed the bugs and lets them wreak more havoc. Second, it'd be ideal, especially if you have any sort of like sinus infection, congestion, any lung issues going on, it's ideal to go ahead and also eliminate dairy during that time because dairy is mucus forming. So what it's going to do is it's going to promote mucus and promote growth of that, which we want to avoid when we're feeling sick. Also during this time, keeping your wheat intake down is going to be helpful whether you're sensitive to it or not, because wheat is going to add to excess inflammation, which is what we're trying to avoid when you're going through some sort of sickness. And then also, alcohol is a no-go. Alcohol is super inflammatory, and essentially that's just sugar that you're drinking. So as far as diet goes, what you want to eliminate and get rid of, those things are a great start, and that covers the majority of your bases as far as those inflammatory and bug feeding foods. All right, next let's talk about ideal supplementation. So when it comes to supplements, I honestly start my immune protocol to get my immune system up and running in about October time, because I'm working with people all day. Sometimes we're sick before we know we're sick, and I'm in contact with those people. Things happen, so I just like to keep myself protected. As far as that goes, we mostly use heavily a lot of vitamin C and a lot of vitamin D, both to boost your immune system, fight things off with antioxidants, and keep your inflammation levels as low as possible. So as far as vitamin D goes, my maintenance dose for when I'm just feeling well and to maintain good health during these months is about 5,000 IUs a day. Just depends on the day, but I usually try to get that many in just to protect myself. And that's what I recommend for patients usually too. So we have quite a few forms of vitamin D available here. We've got a liquid form, which is great. This is what I take. I was gonna say it's great for kids. It's great for anyone, but it's great for kids too. It does taste like orange juice. It's got some pineapple juice in there for enzyme purposes, but this is really, really great for adults or kiddos. It tastes awesome. And it has also vitamin A and vitamin K2 in it, which is helping with absorbency and helping your immune system actually utilize it. Then next we have something called vitamin K2D3, okay? Vitamin K2D3 is basically a very similar capsule form to vitamin D3 liquid. And we do have a direct capsule form of this as well. And then, like I said, this is just a capsule form of vitamin K and vitamin D. And for a reference, one capsule out of here is 5,000 IUs. So 5,000 IUs, one capsule a day would be a great, oops, there goes my other vitamin D, would be a great maintenance dose. And this, let's see, 1 milliliter, which the dropper in here is labeled, 1 milliliter, you're going to receive 3,000 IUs of vitamin D a day with one of those. So you would just do the math out, so you get 5 a day with that. All right, and then last but not least, good old standard process. They carry a Cataplex D, which is just vitamin D, and I believe there's some C in here as well. So those are all really great vitamin D supplements. As far as vitamin C goes, we have something called ACX, which is a wonderful combination of vitamin A, vitamin C, and vitamin E. Again, very, very immune boosting. So with that being said, the vitamin C in here, you get about 200 milligrams per 2 capsules, okay? So that's a pretty good maintenance dose if you took 2 of these a day, as far as that goes. We have some other forms I'm going to go over here. About 500 milligrams a day to stay proactive and keep your immune system prepped and ready is a great idea. Once you start to feel symptomatic, you could work your way up to 1,000. Oh, I didn't mention that above the vitamin D. Okay, vitamin D. If you feel symptomatic, anything, COVID, flu, pneumonia, any sort of bug that you feel coming on, symptomatic vitamin D, I would up to about 10,000 to 15,000 IUs a day, depending on the severity of how you're feeling. With vitamin C, if you're taking like a 500 milligram standard dose, you're going to want to up that to 1,000 milligrams, see how you're doing. Check in on yourself. If you're feeling like it's helping but you need a little more, you could up yourself all the way to 2,000 milligrams a day until you start to feel better. With compliancy with kiddos and stuff like that, we do have a liquid vitamin C, and this is an elderberry vitamin C kind of combo. Elderberry is a huge helper with the immune system, antioxidants, anti-inflammatory, really good stuff here. And it tastes pretty much like juice, so it usually goes down pretty smooth. And then we do have a vitamin C powder available too. Vitamin C, Alka C complex. This is going to be a powder that you can just put right into water and it doesn't taste badly at all. So this would be kid friendly as well, or for adults who maybe don't like swallowing capsules and pills as much. So this is a really great vitamin C as well. And then we have zinc. So especially when it comes to COVID, we're seeing a lot of effectiveness using zinc as well. Zinc is a little like wishy-washy when it comes to everything else in a way, because it can make you a little nauseous if you don't need it. So if you're on a program and you become unwell, call us, let us know. We'll talk to you about it and give you our recommendation of taking this or not. But if you have like a friend or a family member who got COVID and needs a COVID immunity pack, this is going to be a part of that, and it has been helping successfully with people who are dealing with COVID. All right. Then let's talk about the extra. Oh, and a really great supplement to utilize when you have a fever is something called calcium lactate. So calcium lactate helps the fever do its job and get done more efficiently. Remember, fevers aren't necessarily a bad thing. Obviously, it's a sign of stress and of illness, but your body is trying to do its thing and get rid of this bug faster rather than later, okay? So when you're dealing with a fever, Tylenol, not your friend, okay? Tylenol is so hard on your liver, and what it's doing is it's stopping the body from doing its natural process to get rid of whatever's going on. And what else it's doing is it actually is putting so much stress on your liver, it's depleting something called your glutathione, and glutathione is used to help your immune system out in fighting anything off. So reducing those levels doesn't help anything at all. It's just one of those things that puts a band-aid on it for the time being, and it may get rid of that fever, but it's not going to ultimately help you get rid of whatever immune challenge is going on. All right. Then we have other tools I like to mention when we look at immune issues. So one of my favorites right now, because it kind of was a personal story, RC essential oil. This, I had a friend who had pneumonia, and I recommended putting this in the diffuser, and immediately he said his cough just felt so much better, his lungs felt relieved, a lot of symptoms subsided. So this is really great. It has eucalyptus in it, which is amazing for the lungs and amazing for people who are suffering from like a chronic cough, a pneumonia type situation, or a chronic cough from COVID. We have the very notable Thieves. So Thieves is great antimicroorganism. We have a hand sanitizer available in it, and it also is really great at just keeping you well instead of letting your immune system come down and letting bugs do their thing. All right. One of my other favorites, dry brushing. I did a video on dry brushing probably a few months ago now. You can find it in our YouTube, but just search Thrive Wellness Center Celine on YouTube and you'll find us. But this dry brush is great at stimulating the lymphatic system, which you can think of like your natural garbage disposal, and that's going to help get rid of toxins and support drainage. When you're trying to get rid of any sort of bug, drainage is key, and you need to support those systems. Another tool to implement is the sauna. The sauna is great for eliminating toxins, especially the infrared sauna we have. It gets deeper into the cellular tissue, and it helps get those toxins out that have been tough on you and may not be making their way out just with the normal activities that you're doing. All right, also, we're gonna talk about, along those lines, exercise. Exercise helps boost the immune system. They have multiple studies out on how when you are overweight, you are more susceptible to things like immune challenges, COVID, etc. So exercise, implementing that into your everyday life is so important. It keeps that immune system up to par, and it keeps those bugs away. Hydration levels, again, with the drainage, you want to make sure you're urinating, and you want to make sure your bowels are moving, okay? So urination is really important in making sure you stay hydrated. Even splashing a little extra good salt in your water during these times is going to be phenomenal. You're replenishing really good minerals with good salt. Good salt, I mean salt like sea salt and pink Himalayan salt. But you want to be consuming at least half your weight in fluid ounces of water per day. And if you do have a fever, your body is meticulously working even more quickly through that water. You need to be drinking much more water than that to support your body to fully get rid of things. All right. Then we have, again, kind of wrap around to the cough thing. We've got a new chest rub, actually, that's phenomenal. So instead of opting for like Vicks, which tends to have more chemically made sort of the oils in it, I know it looks clean, but it's really not that great. So this is a soothing chest rub, super clean, works well. Then we have silver spray, just something to keep in your medicine cabinet because this is great for sore throats. It's antiseptic, so if you have a sore throat right in your mouth, if you have like an ear issue, putting a couple drops in your ear and then like rubbing it around, that's great. Same with hydrogen peroxide. For my people who get sick and then behind their ears get congested, or you feel congestion there, those are your mastoids, and your mastoids are the deepest part of your sinus. So they're, wet, dark area. Bugs love to just hang out there. It's their little safe haven. So taking a couple drops of hydrogen peroxide, laying on your side, putting it in your ear, and then rubbing it like so it goes down through your eardrum, and then just letting it settle is going to help with drainage of that stuff. And then we have something called, so let me differentiate, hydrogen peroxide and hydroxygen, two different things, okay? Hydrogen peroxide you get at, your local pharmacy. You can run in and grab it. Hydroxygen is a supplement here that we have, and this is what I like to call liquid oxygen. It's like the best way to describe it. So when talking about hydroxygen, again with my friend who had the pneumonia, or anyone, my dad actually does this as an exercise weekly to keep his lungs strong. He has COPD, so to keep them strong and clean, he takes 2 drops of hydroxygen, some distilled water, and puts it in a nebulizer. And a nebulizer is just this machine that kind of turns the liquid in it to like a vapor, and you're breathing that in until the liquid is gone. That's exercising those lungs, and it's also getting the hydroxygen deep into them, including the lower extremity of the lung, so that way nothing is getting missed, and you are making sure you're covering that as a whole. This is also really good with COVID if you have issues breathing, or you're having trouble post-COVID with breathing or a cough. This works really well. And again, it works well for pneumonia. It works well for any sort of cough-like infection or sickness you may be dealing with. And then let me make sure, I think I have everything. This is the last one. So this is our nasal spray that we carry. This nasal spray has grapefruit seed extract. Grapefruit seed extract is really great at stopping any sort of immune replication right in the nasal cavity. So using this daily to protect yourself or to utilize when you are sick is an awesome thing to do. A lot of times we forget that we have a microbiome in more places than just our gut. So why we may get chronic bacterial infections or sinus infections of some sort is because that can be off in those specific sinus areas. Using something like a nasal spray to support that even before you get sick can be really helpful, and it can be a game changer and prevent that sickness from actually developing or happening. A great one there. And then some other things that you can do at home, we talked about the dry brushing. Make sure you're sleeping. Sleep is so important. Sleep equals healing, okay? So if you're sleeping, you're healing, you're resting, amazing. Your body's going to be thankful for that and help you out more so. Also, bone broth is phenomenal when you're sick, full of good minerals, full of good protein, and full of good healthy fat, okay? So keep all of those things in mind when you're feeling down in the dumps. Be preventative. Your diet plays a really, really major role in staying well. So don't forget to feed your body nutritious foods. All right, everyone, stay well. And if you need anything from us, immune-wise or anything else, please feel free to call the office or reach out here on social media, and we're happy to help. Everyone have a great day.